Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And as we continue with the month of October, today we're going to be talking about food. Of course, studying really hard at home or at school can make you really, really hungry, especially if you're in the mood for something really hot and spicy. Most people, I guess, like it from time to time. Maybe not every meal, but you're a big fan of spicy food, aren't you, Stephanie?
I love spicy food, but I grew up in a state called Arizona. We're right next to Mexico, so I grew up with a lot of Mexican food, which I love. And if you know about Mexican food, you know they like spicy stuff too. So I got used to chilies. I actually love them quite a bit. But we've got lots of spicy food here in Taiwan as well.
Certainly, you can get the la jiao or
Mala.
Mala huoguo or whatever. It can be spicy hot pot at restaurants all over the island.
That.
And of course, you got Sichuan restaurants that are quite common in Taiwan. So, of course, in order to make food spicy, you've got to have some kind of special ingredient.
Right.
And that is a pepper. Spicy peppers, okay?
Or chili peppers.
Chili peppers, indeed. So those are the things that make food nice and spicy if you like it that way. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some like it hot, others not. Oh, that sounds like a nursery rhyme. We'll get into that in just a couple of seconds here. But right now we're going to listen to the entire contents of our lesson read one time.
No matter what shade or shape they come in, chilies are enjoyed almost universally. Nearly every culture has incorporated these spicy peppers into their cuisines in some way. And at one point or another, we've all experienced the burning sensation that comes from taking a bite of them. People have been spicing up their food with chilies for millennia. They were some of the first cultivated crops in the Americas and later spread to the rest of the world. For many, the delicious burn these peppers lend to a curry or salsa is one of life's greatest pleasures. For others, deliberately torching your tongue with chili seems like a strangely cruel hobby. But just why do these little peppers have such a fiery effect on us? The answer lies in the chemistry of the peppers themselves. When you bite into a chili pepper, capsaicin, the compound that makes chilies hot, causes a burning sensation that explodes inside your mouth. Your brain is tricked into thinking your mouth is on fire, and your body fights to ease the pain. You break out in a sweat, you tear up, and your nose runs. But you also experience an adrenaline rush. Like watching a horror movie, eating a chili is a way to get a thrill. No matter what your tolerance level is for spicy foods, you may encounter a dish too hot to handle. If that happens, ignore your instincts to gulp down a glass of cold water, which actually spreads the spice around your mouth. Instead, try a glass of milk or a spoonful of rice to absorb the burn.
Okay, everybody, it's time for us to discuss the contents of today's lesson. I know you're all looking forward to it with great anticipation because we're going to be talking about food, and there are many different ways to enjoy food. You can have it salty or sweet, and in this case, you can have it spicy, and of course, spicy peppers help make that food also spicy. And like I promised you before, I said that the title here sounds like a nursery rhyme, and indeed, peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold. Some people like it in a pot 9 days old. I kind of simplified it there, but basically the main line is some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot 9 days old. It's also the name of a movie from 1959 starring Marilyn Monroe, but we'll dispense with that information and get right down to business here. Some like it hot, others not. Some like their food hot and spicy, and some people don't. That is kind of confusing in English. We have the word hot, which could refer to the actual temperature of something, but also it could refer to how spicy it is.
Yeah, I think it's easier here because you differentiate between the two. If I am talking to a foreigner, okay, so I'm American. If I'm talking to one of my Taiwanese friends or maybe a friend from, I don't know, France or something, they speak a different language, I will be very careful to use spicy if I mean 很辣. But if I'm speaking to an American, I'll often say, yeah, it's really hot. That doesn't mean temperature hot. It can mean spicy hot too. Sorry about that. But if you aren't clear or you're not sure which hot they're talking about, just ask them. You just say, does that mean it's hot because the food's temperature is hot or because it's really spicy? And then your English-speaking friend should be able to clear that up for you or clarify that for you. I love to eat spicy food. If it's too hot, though, and it burns your tongue, sometimes you can't taste food anymore. So I don't like it too hot. I'm not that good at it, and I always save the hottest, spiciest food for when I'm alone at home because, as I said earlier, my face turns red, I start sweating, my nose doesn't run, but yeah, I still enjoy it.
I have to say I like spicy food, but not necessarily hot food. There is a subtle difference, which we'll explain as our lesson continues. So here in the first paragraph, it says, no matter what shade or shape they come in, chilies are enjoyed almost universally. So this is a good way to start off our subject here. No matter if it's this way or if it's that way, the truth is blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of a pattern you can use here. No matter what shade or what shape the food comes in, chilies are enjoyed by almost everyone everywhere. Universally here, that does normally refer to the universe that we live in, billions of light years across, but in this case, universally just means by everyone all over the world.
Well, I would say chilies are enjoyed around the world. There are some cultures that don't really enjoy very spicy food. I don't think the Japanese love spicy food.
Well, except for wasabi there.
Yeah, there's the wasabi, but a lot of their dishes I consider to be, pretty mild. But
True.
Yeah, a lot of folks like it though. So nearly every culture has incorporated these spicy peppers into their cuisines in some way. So if you're talking about the culture, that's what people eat, some of their traditions, and every country has their own culture. Actually, if the country's really big, you probably have different types of cultures in different areas in that country. For example, we've got people in the southern part of the States. They like a lot of fried food, a lot of barbecue. And I would say it's a little different in California where they're trying to eat a little bit more healthy food. Not always. So you've got to look at the culture. Nearly almost every culture you find has incorporated these spicy peppers into their cuisines. Cuisine is how we describe the food of a particular culture. Spicy, of course, we've talked about that. But what does this incorporate something into something else? This is a phrase we use. It's a verb phrase to talk about adding something into something that already exists. It doesn't have to be food. Could be a paper you're writing. Maybe you think you've almost finished writing your paper, and then at the last minute you find some new information. You decide to take that new information and put it into your paper or incorporate the new info into your paper before you turn it in.
Yep, they add them to their food. Basically, that's what incorporate means. Or it's used as an ingredient or something when they cook it. And spicy does mean it does involve lots of spices, but it's not necessarily really hot. Okay, if it's really hot, it actually feels like it's burning your mouth. Like I said, I do like spicy food, but not necessarily really hot. Okay, but in any case, at one point, it goes on to say, at one point or another, at some time in our lives, we've all experience the burning sensation that comes from taking a bite of them. So again, we're talking about spicy peppers, which are used in cooking all over the world. Not in some, but in a lot of cultures, especially in Mexican cooking and in Indian cooking as well. They do have these peppers incorporated into their recipes.
That's right. So we've got some chilies to talk about. So where did they come from? You might think, how long have they been around? Well, people have been spicing up their food with chilies for millennia. Millennia is the plural form of the noun millennium, which is 1,000 years. So it says here in this sentence, people have been using these chilies to spice up their food for thousands of years. You could also just write that.
Yeah, millennia means thousands of years. Millennium is just 1,000 years. And they were some of the first cultivated crops in the Americas and later spread to the rest of the world. Yes, that's my impression. Chili peppers or hot peppers come from the Americas, especially South America. But if you talk about cultivated, that means they grow them on purpose in order to produce food. They were planted and they were harvested and they were consumed. Maybe they sold them or traded them or whatever. So, of course, the European conquerors came over and they thought they were kind of cool. I think they had that in chocolate or something, like
They
spicy
did,
chocolate
yeah.
or something. So they brought that back to Spain and somehow it ended out in the rest of the world as well. And the rest is history. So for many people, the delicious burn these peppers lend to a curry or salsa is one of life's greatest pleasures. As I said before, I'm not a big fan of the burn, but I do like spicy food. To me, there is a difference. Maybe some people think, well, spicy and hot are the same thing, but to me, it can be spicy, but not necessarily hot.
Like burning your mouth, which is not very fun. And once your tongue is burned, it's hard to taste anything else. At least for me, that's true. So they were cultivating crops long, long ago. And I just looked up that chocolate. It's called a chocolate habanero, which is a type of chili. That one is almost at the top of the scale. So if you guys have never seen the scale that it kind of ranks how spicy and how hot the chilies are, you should look it up. There was a man named Scoville. He was a scientist, and it was his idea to actually rank how hot these chilies were. At the bottom of the scale would be the bell pepper.
Oh, yeah, those aren't spicy at all, are they?
No, but they're on the chart. Those are peppers. But at the top of the chart is something called a ghost chili. Stay away from that. It's really, really hot. So we're talking about cultivating crops. You plant the seeds, you water the plants, they grow, and when they're finished growing, they're harvested. So to cultivate something just means to help something grow, to nourish something. We can also cultivate friendships with people, where you don't know someone at first and then you get to know them better.
Indeed, that's what happens when you get to know new friends and stuff. You can cultivate a friendship. So, indeed, we're talking about when these were grown in the Americas and they spread to the rest of the world. And, of course, we know in India that they are included in curries, which is a kind of Indian sauce with lots of different spices. It can be mild or hot, etc. And salsa, of course, generally refers to Mexican sauce with spices and tomatoes mixed together, maybe with the cilantro, onions,
peppers,
stuff like that.
I make my own salsa. Usually if you buy salsa at the store, they'll give you different varieties. You can buy mild, as Tom mentioned, medium, and hot. So be careful with the hot if you're not good with spicy food. For others, it says, deliberately torching your tongue. It's a great verb for this. With chili seems like a strangely cruel hobby. Why would you want to do that? My dad and mom always thought it was weird that I bought the hottest hot sauce at the Mexican food restaurant that they offered, while my parents always got the salsa that was very mild. If you torch something, you light it up and it burns. So a torch is also what you see before the Olympic Games start. Have you ever seen people? They're usually runners and they carry this long stick that is lit with fire and they go from city to city. That's a torch. And if you torch your tongue, this, of course, is the verb. It just means you light something up. Here we're saying you're burning your tongue with chili. And it seems like kind of a cruel hobby. Why would you want to hurt your poor tongue?
Yeah, well, of course, people need things in their lives to make them interesting or whatever. And sometimes people like to show off how hot they can have their food.
Yeah.
But in any case, it does seem like a strangely cruel hobby, but some people thrive on this sort of thing. Hey, look at me eat this hot pepper that's like 5,000
It's like a challenge,
on the scale,
right?
like a big challenge or something. I think there's a TV show that does that. I think they had Gordon Ramsay come on, and he had to eat all these different kinds of spices, and he was getting really mad at them because it was so spicy. I think that's on YouTube somewhere.
You can see it there. There was also Man versus Food, where the host would be challenged to eat really spicy wings and things. And so that's where I learned you should drink milk when your mouth is on fire. If you're not good at it, don't do it because your stomach will hurt too. But just why do these little peppers have such a fiery effect on us? Fire here means hot. We're going to take a quick break, guys. Listen to our Chinese teacher and then we'll be back.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 今天要谈论的主题是 chilies, 也就是辣椒。第一段提到呢，辣椒在各个文化当中都可以看得到，而且大家都曾经经历过吃辣椒所带来的灼热感。根据这样子的脉络，第一个空格，我们来看一下它后面的句子写着They were some of the first cultivated crops in the Americas, and later spread to the rest of the world. 这里提到的 they 也就是今天的主题辣椒，它们是美洲最早栽培的作物，后来才被传播到世界的其他地方。那么根据这样的文章脉络，第一题我们可以选择 F 选项。People have been spicing up their food with chilies for millennia. 而在这里呢，就可以回应前面提到的辣椒在各个文化看得到，还有后面提到呢，它后来传播到世界的其他地方。这句话的意思指的就是几千年来，人们一直用辣椒来为他们的食物增添风味。加了这一句可以回应第一段的内容以及后面所接的这个句子，所以第一题的标准答案就选择 F 选项。接着来看到第二段的第三个句子 For many, the delicious burn these peppers lend to a curry or salsa is one of life's greatest pleasures. 对很多人来说呢，这种辣椒为咖喱或者是沙沙酱增添的美味的灼热感，也就是用 burn 这个字，是生活中最大的乐趣之一。为什么这么说呢？延续这样的文意，第二题我们可以选择 D 选项。For many 搭配的是 for others， 对其他人来说，我们把 D 选项看完。For others, deliberately torching your tongue with chili seems like a strangely cruel hobby. 前面说很多人很喜欢，觉得是一个乐趣，对其他人来说，故意用辣椒来焚烧舌头，似乎是一种奇怪的残酷的癖好。就用这样子的文句来跟前面的 for many 来做一个对照跟比较，所以第二题的标准答案就选择 D 选项。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. And before we took our break there, we asked the question, just why do these little peppers have such a fiery effect on us? Yeah, why do they burn us so much? Why do they torch our tongue? Well, the answer lies in the chemistry of the peppers themselves. Yes, the chemical composition of the peppers, that, of course, is the logical answer.
So when you bite into a chili pepper, there's something called capsaicin, and that's the compound that makes chilies hot. The compound is just a mixture of things that produce some sort of resulting chemical or ingredient. So it's a compound, which means it's not just a single thing that's added to make this capsaicin. Compound is definitely a mixture of things, and it makes the chilies hot. causing a burning sensation. That's that feeling, the sensation that explodes inside your mouth. If something explodes, it's almost like something is blowing up in your mouth. A bomb will explode. Someone's temper, you could say a guy, he exploded. He was so angry. He was really mad, so he probably started yelling. Your brain is tricked into thinking your mouth is on fire. That's how your brain interprets what's happening in your mouth when you're eating something really hot. And your body starts to fight to ease or reduce the pain, and you break out in a sweat, you tear up, your nose runs. But you also experience an adrenaline rush, that really great feeling you get. If you're on a scary roller coaster ride, you would get that adrenaline feeling. Or maybe someone's chasing you and trying to hurt you. That's an adrenaline rush too. So your body actually is trying to protect you by helping you sweat, because you're too hot, right? And also sometimes people will tear up, meaning they'll cry or their nose will run. That doesn't happen to me, but my face goes very red too.
Exactly. So again, the brain thinks you're burning up, so it kind of produces all this liquid, tears, and sweat, and of course a runny nose. And of course you get lots of adrenaline there, a rush there, a large amount of it. So like watching a horror movie, eating a chili is a way to get a thrill. That sounds kind of interesting.
Kind of like riding a roller coaster.
Indeed, but I don't like what happens when you go to the bathroom afterwards.
Oh.
Watch out for that. But no matter
what... you could get La Dudza. Be careful.
La Dudza and other things. But no matter what your tolerance level is for spicy foods, you may encounter a dish too hot to handle.
Yeah.
Tolerance just means your level to tolerate something, how much you can take before you collapse, before you pass out, or before you really get sick, or in a worst case scenario, before you actually die.
Ooh.
So yeah, what is your tolerance level? No matter what it is, you might come across some kind of food that you're going to say, oh, I can't eat this. It's too darn hot. Take it away.
Yeah, too hot to handle. That can be used, in a figurative way, meaning it's not really too hot for you to pick up. But it could be literal, where maybe you're frying something or a pan on the stove and you pick it up and burns your hands. Be careful. It might be too hot to handle. If that happens, ignore that gut feeling, that instinct inside you to grab a glass of really cold water and gulp it down or gulp down. If you gulp down something, you are swallowing very quickly. I try not to gulp down too much. Doesn't make you feel very good. But that's kind of what your reaction is if you don't know any better. I tried that too when I was a little girl and realized that doesn't help. It makes it worse. So be careful. What actually can make your mouth cool down a lot is to grab a glass of milk. That helps a lot. But if you haven't ordered the milk in advance, your mouth's going to burn.
Right. If you know you're going to have really spicy food or something, it might be a good idea to have some milk on hand.
True.
And as we said, some other things that you might try could be bread, or as it says here in the last sentence, instead try a glass of milk or a spoonful of rice to absorb the burn. So again, try a glass of milk. Maybe this will work for you.
Yeah.
And as we said, bread sometimes works. And a friend of mine back in college suggested black coffee. Just black coffee, not coffee with sugar or cream, just straight black coffee. That also might help.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, it does work to a certain degree, but I think, the rice thing or the bread thing tends to work more. I think it actually absorbs it from your mouth, so it's not so heavily concentrated.
And the milk, what it does is it coats your mouth. It's like a thin layer that just kind of calms things down. I have done the milk and the bread, both, but not the rice yet. If you're absorbing something, you're taking it in. If you wash dishes at home, guys, you'll have a sponge, and that sponge will absorb the water and the soap, meaning it sucks it in. So hopefully one of these will help you if you make the mistake and eat something that's too hot to handle for your own tongue.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. We hope you're hungry by now. So let's take a break now and listen once again to our Chinese teacher.
第三个空格要选对，则是要看一下上一段的最后一个问句。这里问到 But just why do these little peppers have such a fiery effect on us? 这里提到为什么这些小辣椒对我们会有如此辛辣的影响呢？文章问了一个问题，后面当然要给一个解答，所以第3题我们可以选择 C 选项的句子。Sentence C 提到The answer lies in the chemistry of the peppers themselves. 答案呢就在辣椒本身的化学物质，所以用答案回应前面的问句，而后面也提到了，其实里面有一个称之为辣椒素的化学物质，所以搭配文意，第3题的标准答案就选择 C 选项。而这样子的辣椒素呢，在文章的后半句提到，它会 causes a burning sensation that explodes inside your mouth. 它会在你的口中呢爆发一种强烈的灼热感。搭配第4个空格，后面又提到 You break out in a sweat, you tear up, and your nose runs. 这时候呢，你会满身大汗，眼里含泪，而且流鼻涕。第4个空格承接上下文句，我们可以选择 B 选项。为什么呢？当这样子灼热感在你的嘴巴里面爆炸的时候， Sentence B 提到 Your brain is tricked into thinking your mouth is on fire and your body fights to ease the pain. 来回应前面这样子灼热的感觉，会以为你的嘴巴着火了，而后面的身体呢，有这样的现象，则是要来对抗，能够减轻这样的疼痛。所以第4题标准答案就选 B 来回应前后文句。第5个空格前面句子的后半句，我们来看，这里写到 You may encounter a dish too hot to handle. 可能呢，我们都曾经碰过这样的情况，就是你遇到一盘太辣而无法应付的菜肴，这时候要怎么办呢？然后后面第5个空格的文句又提到 Instead, try a glass of milk or a spoonful of rice to absorb the burn. 那么相反的呢，你可以试着喝一杯牛奶或吃一匙米饭来当做呢替代品，吸收这股灼热感。所以当吃到太辣而没有办法应付的菜肴的时候该怎么办？第5个空格我们可以选择 A 选项。Sentence A 提到 If that happens, ignore your instincts to gulp down a glass of cold water, which actually spreads the spice around your mouth. 如果这种情况发生的话，一定要忽视这种直觉，想要大口喝下一杯冷水，因为这事实上会把这个辣味散布在口腔的四周。来回应后面的句子，反而呢，你要喝牛奶或吃饭来当做替代。第5题的标准答案就选择 A 选项。OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today and our lesson for today. Don't eat too much spicy food. It might make you uncomfortable. Don't take it from us. We did not encourage you to do that, so don't blame us. We're just talking about it.
That's right.
As a topic of conversation. Thank you for joining us. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.